Hi, friends. I'm Scott Giles, a life coach and a consulting hypnotist, and welcome to Saturday at 2:30. Every Saturday afternoon at 2:30 Central Time, I shoot a short video podcast here on Facebook Live, and then later I'll put this up on my website with some editing included. Today, I want to talk about productivity. Now, this is a major theme for me. People who know me know that I am highly organized and also high energy, and I'm sort of told that that can be a frightening combination. Now, I actually think that as a kid, I may have had some form of attention deficit disorder. Certainly, the critiques I got from teachers and so on were consistent with what we would expect someone with ADD or ADHD to receive. I was disorganized, messy, I forgot things all the time. A lot of the scorn that my family of origin heaped on me was due to this behavior of mine that I was just couldn't get anything done effectively. But as I got older, I wanted to be effective, in part to show my family members up. I wanted to prove to them that they were wrong, and that was a powerful, motivating cocktail. Now, I began at that point. This would be just at the midpoint of high school to really get concerned about productivity. Now, I had an enormous asset in this, which was that I had become a restaurant worker. And in the professional kitchen, efficiency is everything. You are absolutely encouraged to be utterly efficient in what you do because things have to happen fast, they have to happen precisely. And so there are systems that professional kitchens have in place, like the mise en place and so on. I'll cover that in some other video, where the people in the kitchen are very, very productive, or encouraged to be. So I was able to transfer that insight that productivity was possible with organization into my own life. Now, there is a downside to productivity or to being obsessional about it. There's a guy by the name of Tim Ferriss who wrote a book called The 4-Hour Work Week. He has a concept he calls productivity by minimization, which means how to be the most productive you can possibly be in the shortest period of time. His notion is, your work week should be just 4 hours. If you do it right, those 4 hours, you can be so productive you earn a full-time living. I've never been able to make that work, but that's what he says. And he has some similar books out, The 4-Hour Body, The 4-Hour Chef. Really kind of admirable for what he's able to get done in a very short period of time. I actually like his book, The 4-Hour Chef, and I use some of those hacks in my own kitchen work. But not everything needs to be handled in the way that's the most productive in the most minimal amount of time. Because a lot of the good things in life are to enjoy the process. In cooking, for example, yeah, there are all kinds of gadgets you can get for your kitchen, but I really like basic hand tools and knife skills. I enjoy the craft of doing it myself with a good knife. So I don't use mandolins. I mean, I have one, but I rarely use it. I don't use cutting devices. I have a food processor. I rarely use it. Mostly it's things like a mortar and pestle, a set of good knives, and time. And I enjoy kind of the zen of using those hand tools. Sexuality, I mean, getting there is half the fun. You don't want to be, make things as minimal as you can to get to your goal. Reading, I as a method of self-care, I do a couple of hours of reading every single day that has absolutely no socially redeeming value. I tend to enjoy dystopian science fiction or horror fantasy. And I want to just savor the process. I don't want to look ahead and see how it ends. I want to enjoy getting there, appreciating art. So these are things that you don't want to be efficient with. You want to have fun, and the fun is in the doing. But all of that said, productivity is a good, it's a positive good. One of our hypnotic colleagues, Jason Lynette, uh, of WorkSmart Hypnosis fame, he wants to know, how can I do this really well once? Because he wants to then create a process that allows him to replicate it in the future without having to do it all over again from scratch. And that's a great sort of thing to do. And I do the same thing. I use software and other tools. When I have to do something for the first time, I do it well to the best of my ability, but I also put it into some sort of a system that will allow me to quickly replicate that result. For many, many years, the core of my productivity method has been something called Getting Things Done, GTD, a system of productivity created by a time management guru called David Allen. And he's got lots of books out there and websites and so on. His method's become very popular. There are dedicated tools you can get for using it, but it reduces to a very simple set of principles. These days, I don't follow the Getting Things Done system as exactly. I use what's called the bullet journal, in which I've incorporated some of the Getting Things Done methodology. But the fundamental insights that come from that method and the core of my own ability for productivity. First, write things down. Do not try to remember stuff. Get it out of your head and onto paper. Then you can organize the paper or computer screens, whatever. But don't just think you'll remember, because you won't. Memory is constructive. It's not accurate. Second, don't use your head to store information. Use your brain to think. Get information that you need to access out of your head and into some simple, trusted system. And it has to be, and I love this by David Allen, it has to be a system that's so simple you can maintain it on a rainy Monday morning when you have a bad flu. If it's any more complicated than that, you will fail to maintain it properly, it will leak information, and you can't trust it. So you're going to be far better off with a couple of big files that you use consistently than lots of little ones that you don't maintain. It has to be a very simple system. And finally, the key thing is, when you've got your simple system, use it. Even if it is not perfect, and it probably will not be, you will be so much more effective and productive than someone else who isn't using a system at all, even if your system has serious problems. I mean, I've got a set of a list of things I need to do each year. I got a list of things that I need to do in a given month. I've got a list of things I want to do today, and I have ways of prioritizing that or indicating what's most important. I use my bullet journal for that. I've used other systems, but all coming back to the simple productivity insights of David Allen. Write stuff down. Don't use your head to store information. Get things out of your head and into a simple system. And the system you use has to be so simple that you can maintain it even when you feel rotten. Do all of that and remember to use your system so it doesn't leak information. And you will be so much more productive than other people. You can accomplish mountains. Hey, thank you for your time and attention. I'll be back next week, same time, with another talk on a different topic that will catches my interest. When I edit this, I'll put my website and Patreon channel URLs up. So if you'd like to check out my website, please do. And if you'd like to check out the material that I make available for my patrons, please do. And if you're viewing this on social networking, please like, subscribe. And it does help me if you share the material. So please feel free to share it with other people in your network. Take care, stay well, and stay safe.